that, find a comfortable spot on your mat. And if you have a block or a bolster, I encourage you to grab that and sit up atop something. Block, bolster, blanket, having your hips above your knees and opening up your hip flexors, letting go instantly of a little bit of that tension. And I invite you to find your sit bones or your ischial spines and connect them down into the earth, deeply rooting yourself, finding your center, finding something that feels stable and strong beneath you, and taking a moment to just enjoy that, a moment of stillness, a moment to honor slowing down and arriving here together on our mat. Knowing that we often move right through the arrival and right into the next phase. And so tonight's practice is going to be honoring the slow and honoring the relaxing and honoring the refilling and restoring. And as we do that, we will move slower. We will take time to arrive and time to shift and time to transition. And so here in this moment, taking in an inhale in through your nose and out through your mouth, slowly transitioning mind, body, and spirit all into this spot on your mat, wherever you may be in the world, on this dark winter's night, the darkest night of the year, an invitation to go within, to be cozy, and to take beautiful, exquisite care of yourself. And I invite you to start by bringing a hand to heart and bringing another hand atop. If it feels good, you can close your eyes. And if you want to keep your eyes open, feel free to do that. Whatever feels right to you. Checking in with your heart space. The invitation tonight is to honor diastole, that rest phase of the heart. A phase that many of us don't pay attention to in our regular life. Allowing our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and our spirits to refill, fill fully, relax, and restore. In diastole is when the heart feeds itself. It's in the relaxation phase that the blood comes back to the heart to take good care of itself. And so a reminder for all of us here tonight to take time to relax. Winter is a season, an invitation of slowing down, relaxing, pausing, resting, and restoring. And this dark night tonight is an invitation to do that, to spend time on things you love, things that feel good, and healing and restoring yourself, letting your heart fill fully, taking a moment to notice here what that might feel like. Taking an inhale, filling that heart fully with oxygenated blood, and exhale, releasing some of the stress, creating space for that heart to relax, to soften, to let more blood soak in, fill it up. And another long inhale, breathing in, nourishing your body, every nook and cranny that feels like it needs attention. And an exhale, let it out, release. And pause here for a moment of stillness, hand to heart, honoring your heart and all the work that it does for you in a busy day and a busy life. Giving it a moment here of full kindness, compassion, appreciation, and attention. Noticing perhaps if it feels tight and using the next breath to soften whatever parts of that heart space feel tight and tense, sending the breath right there, creating space for the heart to fill more fully. And an exhale, creating even more space. And a pause to notice how you feel. We'll do a few long, smooth breaths here with the intention of upregulating that parasympathetic nervous system, that calm, the rest and digest. We'll breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and out for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe in through your nose for 4. Hold for 7. And out for 8. In for 4. Hold for 7. And out for 8. Do 2 more rounds on your own of that cadence of breathing, or whatever breathing feels relaxing, restorative, and healing to you. This class is an invitation to choose what feels good to you. So taking a moment here to notice what feels good. And when you're done, pause once again, hand to heart. Notice how your heart feels here. Notice how your lungs feel. Notice how your belly feels. Taking in another long, smooth inhale all together. And an exhale, let it out. And we'll come to transition to our backs lying on our mat to begin. And we'll come to Supta Baddha Konasana. So for those of you who like to have blocks under your knees and you have blocks or bolsters or pillows, you can grab those. Supta Baddha Konasana is reclining butterfly. So the soles of your feet will be together. You'll have a block under each knee and you will lie back flat on the floor. For those of you who have been to retreats with me and have all of your supplies, if you want to do supported fish with your feet in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can do that. And for those of you who know what that is, feel free to do that if that would feel even more restorative. With the heart open is the invitation. And bring a hand to heart and a hand to belly. And once again, let yourself arrive here for a moment. Settling in for a long winter's nap, as they say, an hour of healing and nourishing yourself, your heart, your body, your mind, and your spirit. A pause. Take an inhale right to that spot under the hand over your heart. And an exhale, let it out. And a breath into your belly, your hand, underneath your hand on your belly. And an exhale, let it out. And an inhale breath all the way into your pelvis and your groin area. And an exhale, breathing it out long and smooth, the tension, the tightness, the restrictive tightness. Anything that may be keeping your heart and your body and your spirit from filling fully. Breathe in once again through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. With this in-breath, send it all the way down to the soles of the feet and your toes that are touching. Then exhale, let it out. And we'll pause for a few moments here, allowing your body to integrate and slow down. I know for many of you, the slowing down is a challenge. And so we'll move from position to position a little bit more slowly tonight. And just notice any resistance to the slowing down. Noticing, allowing, breathing into it, and slowing down. And as you lie here, I wanted to read a passage. The courage of the seed. All the buried seeds crack open in the dark, the instant they surrender to a process they cannot see. What a powerful lesson is the beginning of spring. All around us, everything small and buried surrenders to a process that none of the buried parts can see. And this innate surrender allows everything edible and fragrant to break ground into a life of light that we call spring. A seed buried in the earth cannot imagine itself as an orchid or a hyacinth. Neither can a heart packed with hurt imagine itself loved or at peace. The courage of this seed is that once cracking, it cracks. And the vision of the seed under the earth, germinating through the winter before we get to the spring, is my invitation tonight. The invitation to pause in the quiet and the dark and the stillness, envisioning yourself as a seed, doing that germinating work, knowing what you need so that when spring comes, you're ready. So the invitation is not just tonight in this dark night, but in the days that follow as we get closer and closer to spring throughout the winter, as the light increases. What does your seed need? What do you need to germinate? What does your heart need to heal? When you're ready, bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs and you'll draw the knees together. You can move the blocks out of the way if you have them there. And we'll bring our right knee in towards our chest, hugging it in towards your belly and towards your chest. Lengthen the left leg long in front of you. Point that left toe and point the right toe and flex both toes, enjoying the sensations. Hug the right knee in towards your chest with a huge inhale. Exhale, let the hip fall laterally a little bit out towards the sides and enjoy it. Huge inhale, hug it tight. Exhale, let it sink in laterally and enjoy it. Bring your hands to the back of your thigh. Extend your right leg towards the sky. Flex your toes towards your nose. Reach your heel towards the sky and lengthen the back of the leg. Press your hamstring into your hands and enjoy the sensations. Huge inhale. Exhale, point your toe. Inhale, bring your toe towards your nose. Exhale, point your toe. Inhale, bring your toe towards your nose. Bend your knee and hug it in towards you once again, squeezing it tight. Bring your head towards your knee, giving it a huge hug. And an exhale, rolling back down. Let the hip fall into the socket and enjoy. Bring your left hand to your right shin. Bring your right hand out to a T. And we'll twist gently towards the left side, rolling onto the left hip and enjoying just an easy opening twist, a nice stretch you might feel in the right arm, the right shoulder, the armpit. Breathing in all the way down the spine. Twists are spine lengtheners, breathing into your belly. And an exhale, gently lower that right knee a little bit farther towards the left in an easy way. Don't overdo it. One more huge inhale, right down your spine, all the way through the left foot. And an exhale, letting the air come up through your toes, through your legs, to your torso, and out your mouth. One more breath here. And slowly coming back to center, bringing both hands to the shin, hugging the knee in towards you. Huge inhale once again, moving your chest out of the way if it needs to be. Exhale, let the hip fall laterally into the socket. And stretch your right leg alongside the left. And pause to notice. Bring your hands by your sides, palms open. Notice how you feel different on either side. Moving slowly, transitioning and enjoying all the sensations. Bring your left knee in towards your chest. Hands come to the shin, hug it in tight. Notice your right toes, point them towards the sky. Left toes also point towards the sky. Ankles are flexed. Huge inhale. Hug that left knee in towards you as tight as you can. Exhale, let it fall into the hip socket and enjoy. Another huge hug in. Exhale, let it fall into the hip socket and enjoy. One more breath here. Noticing perhaps the discomfort of the slowness and the peace and calm that may be sending around your body, enjoying it, allowing it. Sometimes it takes a conscious allowing, letting it into the cells, breathing that oxygen in, letting them percolate around, perfusing to your entire body, and exhale, let it out. Bring your hands to the back of your thigh, to your hamstring. Straight your left leg. Heel reaches towards the sky. Hamstring presses into both hands. Press that heel towards the sky, toes towards your nose, and enjoy all the sensations there. Exhale, point your toe. Inhale, flex the ankle, toes towards your nose. Point your toe towards the sky. Two more at whatever pace feels good to you, not rushed. Noticing every sensation in the back of the leg, in the front of the shin. Pause to notice, pause to enjoy. Honoring the slowness and the stillness. Nowhere to go on this long winter's night, but here and enjoy. Hug your knee back in towards you. Give it a huge hug. Squeeze your knee towards your forehead. Lift your forehead up, hugging it tight. Exhale, lowering your head down. Your right hand will come to the left shin. Left hand will come out to a T if you have room in your home space. And slowly turn, twist towards the right side, onto the right hip. And your left knee will come towards the floor, wherever feels good for you. Don't overdo the shoulder stretch. You may find that you want a cactus shape on the side or a T, whatever works for you. Everyone's body is different. Many of us have injuries and experiences that we've been on with our body. No judgments, just allowing it to be, noticing what feels good and choosing that. Notice here in this twist your heart. Allowing the blood flow to nourish the heart fully, breathing into that heart space, all the way down the back side of it, down into your belly, down through the right leg to the toes. Exhale, long, smooth, and slow. Another inhale here, breathing in all the way down through behind the heart, down to your toes, and then exhale all the way up the right leg into your belly and out through your mouth. Slowly coming back to center, moving kindly, not overdoing it, hugging that knee back in towards you, huge hug tight. And then exhale, extend it alongside the left and pause to notice how you feel. Reach both arms long above you. Interlace your fingers and stretch them as tall and long towards the sky as you can. Toes reach in the opposite direction. Huge, nourishing, cleansing breath all the way through your body here. Exhale, long, smooth, letting it out. Flushing out the tension, melting. Take your right thumb and middle finger, grab your left wrist, bring your left ankle atop the right. You're actually going to bring your right foot towards the right side of the mat first, then bring your left ankle atop. Tug the left wrist towards the right, coming into a half moon tonight, breathing into that crescent moon, into every nook and cranny of the whole left side body, bathing it with a breath and a slowness and relaxation. Enjoy the filling here. Noticing that a tiny sliver of your heart space pops open here in this half moon shape. Exhale, let it out. Uncross your feet, bring them back to center. Bring your hands back to center. Switch the clasp of your hands. Walk the left foot to the left front corner of the mat. Right ankle lands atop the left. Tug the right wrist towards the left. Crescent moon on the other side. Huge breath into every nook and cranny of the right side body. Exhale, let it out. One more huge, long, delicious breath. Nourishing the heart, the rib cage, the intercostal muscles and fibers, the top of the right waist. Exhaling, letting things go, softening, letting it integrate. Come back to center. Bring your hands back alongside you and notice how you feel for a moment. Palms will face down. Bring your heels towards your butt. Your knees will be bent, palms on the floor, forearms on the floor. We'll press into our feet, lift our hips up for an easy bridge. You can grab the outer edges of your mat or clasp your hands underneath as you bring your hips towards the sky. Your knees will energetically connect here. And notice if your feet are in too tight, you don't want your knees to be stretched here uncomfortably. Take a huge inhale into the heart space here. Your heart is in an anti-gravity moment, bathing the back side of the heart, making room for it to fill, decreasing the resistance. Huge inhale into the back body, into your buttocks, everything that's working. Send the breath everywhere. All the nooks and crannies that haven't been opened yet today, bathing them with breath. Exhale, breathing it out. One more breath here as you reach your hips towards the sky. Exhale, lower your hips, untuck your shoulders, release your hands, release the mat. Unroll your vertebrae like pearls on a string, enjoying it. Bring your knees both into your chest, giving them a huge hug, hugging your forehead towards your knees, squeezing everything tight, tight, tight. Exhale, release, and lower down. Raise your knees to 90 degrees and your fingers to reach straight towards the sky in a reverse dying bug. Take a huge inhale. Exhale, extend your left leg and your right arm. Inhale, bringing both back to center. Exhale, extend your right leg and left arm. Inhale, come back to center. We'll do one more on the other side, wakening up the core, everything in the middle, getting a little bit of attention, coming back to center, and switch to the other side. Moving slowly, patience, no rush, no urgency. Bring your hands back to your shins, hug your knees in tight, bring your forehead to your knees, tight, tight, tight. Exhale, release, and lower down. Stretch your legs long in front. We're going to roll over to our belly here, coming into a Sphinx pose. For those of you who don't know Sphinx, your elbows will be directly under your shoulders, palms on the floor, fingers spread wide, equal pie shapes, all 10 knuckles pressing down into the earth. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Notice the front of your hip bones on the floor. Your heart is shining forward. Heart is light. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Send the breath right in through your nose, all the way down through your chest, through your spine to your lower back. Breathing into every nook and cranny here. Bathing it, sending the healing powers to every spot that's letting you know it's there. Nourishing it with the breath, the blood flow, and the calm and quiet all the time in the world. Exhale, let it out. One more long, deep, slow breath. Like the long winter's night ahead, sending it everywhere. Plenty of time for rest. Plenty of time for replenishment, to germinate, to grow in the quiet while we hibernate in this cozy time of year, letting the breath out. We'll press back from here to child's pose. You can bring your elbows a little bit farther under you. I love child's pose with knees apart, toes together. Reach your arms long in front. If you have a block, I invite you to put the block under your forehead, or if you have a bolster, you can use that. This is meant to be a nourishing, healing class. And when our third eye or forehead connects to the earth strongly, we find a stillness and a quiet. And many of us have busy minds, noisy minds. And in this child's pose, face down, I encourage you to connect that forehead and your third eye deeply into the earth below. Eyes are presumably closed here. Hips sink back towards your heels. Take in a long drink of breath into that pocket behind your heart here, bathing your heart in every direction, creating space for it to fill. And in this moment of quiet, thinking about resistance. One of the things that can interfere with a full diastole is our resistance. What might you still be resisting in your life? What might you want to let go of resistance to? Perhaps it's a person who's around for the holidays. Perhaps it's the way things are going at your work or in your life, or perhaps a health problem. What if you decrease the resistance and let your heart fill more fully? Gave yourself more space and room to move through the world. Taking in a breath into that pocket right behind the heart, giving the heart more room to fill. Letting go of any stuckness, decreasing that tension, tightness, resistance. On the exhale, letting things go. One more breath here. Into every muscle fiber in between the ribs, every little intercostal space, bathing them with breath. Envision the ribs fanning out with the breath in this quiet child's pose. Taking another moment to connect with this idea of resistance. It might even be a resistance to you, to your own self, to a way that you are, some way you wish you were different. What if you could soften that resistance in the quiet of the night, in the pause of the winter, letting your heart fill more fully? Notice your sit bones reaching down towards your heels and enjoying that. Sending the breath all the way down into your groin here, all the way down towards your heels. Exhale, let it out. One more huge, long inhale. Exhale, let it out. We will transition back up towards hands and knees. Pause in tabletop here. Knees are directly under your hips. Hands are directly under your shoulders and fingers are spread wide, taking exceptional care of you, exquisite care of everything. Taking in an inhale, coming into cow pose, bathing every nook and cranny of the spine with the breath. And exhale, coming slowly into cat pose, bathing the spine here, enjoying the movement. Inhale into cow pose. And an exhale, rounding into cat. Do 2 more of these on your own in whatever way feels good to your body. Some people like to roll their hips around. Some people like to just go up and down. Some people like to go really far, beat the edges of both cat and cow, whatever your spine needs. And when you're ready, coming back to tabletop. We're going to walk our hands forward, a handprint, and lift up into an easy downward dog. Stretching the spine here. Downward dog is a spine stretch as well. Nice wide feet tonight, making it easeful. Press into your hands and reach your sit bones up towards the sky. Lower your head and neck, release the neck. You can shake your head yes and no. You can walk the dog, pressing one heel and then the other into the floor, enjoying the stretch and the release. Do what feels good here, taking a moment to notice what does feel good. Huge inhale. And a huge exhale, let it out. One more huge inhale. And a big exhale. I'm going to come into pigeon here. So if any of you, I love pigeon and I know many people love it. Some people can't do pigeon. If that's you, I invite you to come down into child's pose and enjoy a long, nourishing child's pose while the rest of us are in pigeon. And if you prefer doing a figure 4 on your back, you can do that also. We'll raise our right leg up towards the sky. Press the heel into the back wall. Everything engaged in 3-legged dog here. Pressing that heel into the back wall. Whole right leg fully engaged. Everything strong, strong, strong. Exhale, gently bring your right knee between your hands. You're going to bring your right knee to the outer edge of the mat. Right foot to the left edge of the mat. Untuck the back toe and wiggle that back foot farther behind you. I highly recommend an upright pigeon in the beginning, reaching the crown of your head towards the sky. Your heart is shining forward. Huge breath in here. Right down the spine, all the way into the groin and the lower back and the left front hip into the right hip. Exhale, letting it out, blowing the worries, the stress, the tightness out with the breath. Another drink of breath right down through your throat into your belly. And an exhale, letting things go on the out breath. Noticing perhaps a shift in the right hip groin area. Another inhale. And on the exhale here, if you wish to lower down to your forearms in the pigeon, feel free to bring your hands, clasp them together and use that as a pillow for your forehead. We'll take 2 breaths here. If you like to stay upright in pigeon, feel free to do that. Do the pigeon that is most delicious to you. Breathing into that right hip. If your knee is bothering you, come out and come back to child's pose or figure 4. Huge breath in here. Noticing here that heart space behind the heart is readily available for breath, sending it there as well. Sending attention to the heart and the hips. The heart and the hips are innately connected. Lots of emotions and energy shifting around. Sometimes people feel tearful in pigeon. Allow that. Long, nourishing, cleansing breath right into the right hip space. Long, smooth exhale. We'll do 2 more breaths here. Allow yourself to enjoy the release.
Notice any resistance here. Breathing in, relaxing into the resistance. Noticing that we tend to resist resistance. We tend to resist the tightness. We tend to resist the softening and the release. With intention, allowing it. Noticing that often when we allow things, things don't fall apart. They just soften. When we rest, that is also true. Slowly beginning to come out of pigeon, coming up onto your fists, your arms will be straight, tuck the back toe, lower your palms to the earth, and we'll untangle ourselves back into a downward dog. Walking out your feet, perhaps walking out your hips. You may want to go shimmy one side and the other, enjoying it. And one in the center, lifting up onto your tippy toes, heels reach towards the sky, press into your hands, hips reach all the way towards the sky, lower your head and neck, heels as high as you can, and slowly lower them down towards the floor and enjoy that deliciousness for a moment. Noticing your heart here, fully hanging in the chest, lots of space to fill. Can you, with intention, bathe it with breath, letting it fill more fully, letting go of any resistance? Long, smooth exhale. We'll raise our left leg towards the sky, three-legged dog, a fully engaged three-legged dog here. We're moving between engaging and working the muscles a little bit and full relaxation. Moving slowly and allowing all of that to happen. Press the heel into the back wall, arms straight, legs straight, huge inhale. Exhale, gently bring the left leg between. Your left knee will come to the left edge of the mat. Your left toes will come to the right edge of the mat. Untuck your back toes, draw them towards the back of the mat. You may want to bring your knee back farther. To begin, spine reaches towards the sky, crown of the head reaches towards the sky, back is slightly arched. A huge drink of breath through your nose, down right through the spine into your belly, and a long, smooth exhale of release. Allowing with intention yourself to soften, letting go of resistance here. Huge drink of inhale. Exhale, soften in. You may find this side more accessible or less accessible. Without judgment, let that be. Notice too if your shoulders are up by your ears, softening those. Huge drink of breath into that left hip area. Exhale, release. Coming down to your forearms, you can interlace your fingers and lower your forehead, third eye onto your hands. Going inward once again here, allowing yourself to soften and relax. Enjoying it. With intention, breathing in softness, relaxation, healing, nourishment to every nook and cranny that needs that attention. Pigeon is a pose that involves a lot of release and a lot of integration. Moving with intention, breathing with intention. Allowing those seeds to germinate and transform here in the quiet, the darkness underneath. It's So a little bit like the diastole, where the heart is taking care of itself. You are taking care of yourself in this quiet, dark, long winter's night moment. When you're ready, we'll slowly rise up once again, getting ready to transition back to downward dog. Your palms will come to the floor, curl your back toe, untangle slowly and kindly. Noticing that things may feel stiff and stuck, walk the dog, enjoy the hips, let them go side to side. Press into your hands, lower your head and neck towards the floor and enjoy the release. Lift up all 10 toes while in downward dog and lower them down. Slowly walk your hands towards your heels, coming into a forward fold. You can widen your feet if you wish. Bring your hands to your elbows and allow your lower back and head to release towards the floor. Enjoying this release here. Your knees can be bent generously. Be kind to your legs, your back. Huge breath in. Noticing that we can find stillness and relaxation in all these positions. Lift your 10 toes up and spread them wide, lowering them down, rooting them into the earth. Release your hands towards the floor. Engage your belly and roll up inch by inch by inch, ever so slowly to stand. When you arrive, let the blood flow adjust like the sand coming down through an hourglass, letting it come down through your feet into the earth. You can almost feel the integration and transformation as you come to stand a tall mountain on the dark in this long winter's night. Taking a moment to notice how you feel in this moment. Perhaps quite different than when you began. Lifting up all 10 toes and lowering them down and drawing the earth's energy up through your legs to your knees, to your thighs. Tuck your pelvis, elongate your spine all the way up through the crown of your head, taking in a drink of breath into that spot behind the heart. And drop your shoulders towards the floor, palms open towards the front, Tadasana, mountain pose. Allowing yourself to enjoy mountain pose. We often move right through. Pausing in stillness here and just noticing how you feel. Reintegrating. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top and enjoy that as well. Sealing in this feeling that you have in this moment, noticing how it feels. A drink of breath once again into the back of the heart space, creating room for it to fill completely, decreasing the resistance, the tightness, the stuckness. Knowing that in this long winter's night is a time, plenty of time, no urgency, nowhere to be, time for you to heal, replenish, restore. Use the breath. And knowing that your heart knows how to nourish itself, and you likely do too, what would that look like? What does that seed need to become the most beautiful spring flower? Lower your hands towards your sides. We're going to open them up and out towards the sky, bringing our fingers together, interlacing them, reaching your fingers towards the sky. Pointing tall, reaching tall, huge inhale, long stretch tall. Exhale, tip towards the right, coming into a half moon here. Lengthen the left side body. It's a crescent moon standing, breathing into the whole left side body. Exhale, release. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, tip to the left this time. Whole right side body stretches, breathing into it as you're upright here. And exhale, letting it go.
honoring the beautiful moon here with us all night long too. Exhale, let it out. Coming back to center. Open your arms out towards the side. Stretch your feet wide towards the side. Coming into a star pose. Stretch your fingers wide, wide, wide towards the side. Toes reach towards the outer edge of the mat. Sink your hips down into a goddess pose. Sinking down, enjoying it for a moment. Sink those hips down towards the floor. Stand up tall once again into star. Bring your hands to your hips and heel toe your feet together. We're going to slowly transition back down to the floor. We'll spread our legs wide this time, coming into a wide angle pose, and you'll move the flesh of your seat with kindness out of the way. Bring your hands in front of you and slide them forward wherever feels good. Notice your toes, align them with your knees, and slide your fingers forward a little bit more. Hinge at the waist, not folding or rounding, hinged forward. Breathing in here. Exhale, sliding in a little bit more and enjoying the release in the back of the legs and the lower back. It'll be a little bit different than what you felt before. A huge breath in here. And slide forward a tiny bit more, enjoying the release. For those of you who have a block here, you can put a block under your forehead and lower down, or 2 blocks if that's accessible. And if you don't, keep your back flat, forearms on the floor. Spread your fingers wide, wide, wide. Enjoy the sensation of the floor under your fingers or the rug, whatever it is. Notice the skin touch the floor. Pausing to notice all of the sensations here. Not in an awakening place, but in a relaxing, softening, letting go of the resistance. And if your head is down, go inward. Checking in, noticing how you feel. 3 long, deep breaths here. Last one, enjoy it. Slowly slide your hands back up and your torso back upright. We'll bring our hands to the outer edge of our legs, bring them towards the front together. Once again, move that flesh of the seat out of the way with kindness, no judgment. Engage your belly. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Flex your toes towards your nose and wiggle your arms like shooting stars. Exhale, fold forward, round your head and neck, release them towards your shins, and allow your back to release. Come into a forward fold and fully enjoy it here. Another moment to go inward. Allowing your back to release and let go. Neck is released fully. Huge breath in. Exhale, let it go. You can lower forward a smidge more if you wish. Slowly slide your hands up your shins, to your knees, to your thighs, coming all the way upright. Bring your arms parallel to your legs, and we'll slowly roll down inch by inch, unrolling your spine like pearls on a string once again. Moving ever so slowly, transitioning with exquisite care. And when you arrive, give yourself a moment to arrive here. Adjust so that it feels good. Notice your sacrum on the floor. Notice your heels on the floor, your calves on the floor, the back of your head on the floor. Enjoy it for a moment. Huge breath in. Exhale, let it out. Bend your knees and bring your heels towards your buttock. We're going to raise our right foot, bring your right ankle on top the left knee. Bring your arms above in an easy cactus shape.
We're going to fall into a twist here towards the left. The right sole of the foot will land on the floor and the outer edge of the left thigh will lower towards the floor. The left knee lowers towards the floor. It's a figure 4 twist, feels a little bit different. Allowing your knee to land towards the floor and enjoy it. If you need a bolster or a blanket or a pillow underneath your knee, feel free to do that. Breathing into that right hip area, a sometimes forgotten spot. Bathe it with the breath, allowing things to really truly slow here. Huge bathing, nourishing breath. Notice your heart here. Does it need any more space to fill? Can you gift it a little less resistance, a little more kindness? Two more breaths. We'll slowly come back to center, untangle your legs, lower the right foot towards the floor, and raise the left ankle atop the right knee. Arms still in a cactus shape if that works for you. If you need to put them in T or by your hips, do that. Take a long cleansing breath in. Exhale, lower the left sole of the foot towards the floor, coming into a figure 4 twist on this side. Notice how this twist feels different than some of the other twists. A little bit more open, a little bit more spaciousness. The intent is to create space and room and rolling open the heart and the hips in ways that allow the breath, that allow softness, that allow looseness, less resistance, more room to fill, more room to function. Huge breath in once again. Slowly bring your knees back to center. Untangle your knees. Bring your hands down by your sides and we'll stretch our legs long. We're going to come into a longer Shavasana than usual. I would recommend a blanket if you have one. You can put a blanket under your head. You can put a bolster or a blanket or blocks under your knees as you extend your legs long. Allow your toes to fall towards the outer edge of the mat. And you can choose if you would like to have your palms down towards the earth, palms open towards the sky, or an invitation to try hand to heart, hand to belly, or two hands to heart. Noticing what feels most nourishing, replenishing, and restorative to you. And opting for that position. Taking in a long inhale. And a long exhale. And when you're ready, get yourself all settled in and cozy. Taking in once more a huge inhale. And a huge exhale. Allowing yourself to soften in and relax fully here into this moment of Shavasana on this quiet, longest night of the year. Giving yourself more than a few moments to enjoy full, complete relaxation, that surrender of the seed. Letting the integration, the rewiring, the nourishment, the replenishment, the softening happen, whatever needs to happen in your body. Giving your body the chance to do what it knows it needs to do, but often doesn't have the chance.
I invite you to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. It's one of the most beautiful things about Zoom yoga. So feel free to stay there even as others transition out. For those of you who wish to come out, gently deepen your breath.
Do you love your mother also?
Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. If it would feel good, reach your arms long above and your toes long in front, taking in a long drink of restorative healing breath. A long, smooth exhale, longer than the inhale, long and slow, allowing yourself to enjoy. When you're ready, bring your knees into your chest and roll over to one side and pause. When you feel complete there, slowly press into your hands and come up to a comfortable seat. When you arrive, find your sit bones, tilt your pelvis forward, stack your spine, each vertebrae one atop the other way, all the way through the crown of your head. Take an inhale and an exhale, drop your shoulders with intention. I invite you to bring your hands to heart, one atop the other. If it feels better, you can leave them on your thighs. Notice what feels good to you and come right back into that Shavasana feeling. My invitation as we end our time together tonight and you head back out into this beautiful dark winter's night is to heal yourself, nourish yourself, and allow yourself to honor diastole, knowing that healing ourselves and nourishing ourselves is essential for healthy function. Heal yourself. Infuse healing energy into yourself, into your being. For too long, most of us have been attracted to things that drain us, exhausting our bodies, depleting our souls. That time has passed. The world is a spa, a nature retreat, a wealth of healing resources. Pour Epsom salts and essential oils into your bath. Sit quietly by a tree or in a garden. Walk around the block. Spend an afternoon in the park or a day at the lake or a beach. Throw stones into the river. Watch the snowflakes fall. Allow beautiful music to quietly imbue the stillness with healing instead of the noise in your mind. Light a fire and awaken that darkened hearth to glowing flames and soothing warmth. Rise from your bed early in the morning. Open the curtains, watch the sunrise. Feel the sunrise. Let it infuse you with its message. Let it energize you, invigorate you, fill you with life. At day's end, return to the window. Watch the sun set. Absorb changing colors spreading out beyond the horizon. Pet a puppy. Stroke a piece of velvet. Listen to a symphony. Slow down long enough to absorb the energy. And if you can't do it the first time, do it a second and a third. Before long, doing what brings healing and joy will become as natural as it used to be to do what drains, tires, depletes, and exhausts you. So taking in an inhale into that heart space, sealing in this idea of nourishing, replenishing, and restoring in the winter ahead. Giving yourself all that you need to germinate those seeds so that in the spring, you emerge anew. Letting the breath out long and smooth. Another inhale right into that heart space, bathing the heart fully. Nourishing, healing it. Exhale, release. And a moment to notice how good it feels when you allow that heart time and space. Feed it well. And imagine what might happen if you took some time to do that, to honor diastole more often. Bring your hands to heart center, palms together, rub them together, warming them up. Fingers touch, palms to palms, rubbing, rubbing, rubbing. Bring the thumbs right into your sternum, connecting your thumbs into your sternum, elbows out wide. Taking an inhale and an exhale. An invitation to set an intention for how you might heal yourself, nourish yourself, replenish yourself, and honor diastole as you move forward off your mat this evening and into the weeks and months ahead. Thank you all so much for practicing with me tonight on this beautiful winter solstice evening. May you all be well. May you all be safe. May you all be healed, nourished, and may you all honor and enjoy and appreciate fully moments of diastole. Have a beautiful night.